Nomad Cosmetics is taking us to France with Chamonix Après-Ski. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Aleisha Budget Beauty. My name is Aleisha. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, indie palette reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, so it has been a while since I did a dedicated video on an eyeshadow palette. I let you guys know that that's not something that I am going to be doing every single time I get a PR palette in like I did in the past. It just didn't make sense for my channel anymore. However, I have received some requests to do them every once in a while, and as long as it fits in kind of with my schedule, then I'm willing to do that for you guys. So I did get this palette in from Nomad in PR, and I have several other eyeshadow palettes coming in soon that are being launched, but this one came first. So I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and do a video for you guys. I cannot promise that I will do a video for all the palettes that come in, but hopefully you guys are interested in this one. So let's go ahead and take a look at this cover because it is so stinking cute with the little ski scene here. The Chamonix Après-Ski, so this is in France. And I love this because it looks very nostalgic to me. I'm not sure exactly if they were going for like early 80s decade sort of look for this, but it's what it reminds me of. Me skiing as a young child, that was really in the late 80s, but that's what this scene reminds me of. And I can picture like my mom in some of these outfits, these ski bibs. So it's really, really cute. Has this sort of pastel wintry aesthetic. And then we open her up and here is the color story, which I think is really, really beautiful. Right away when I saw this, I thought, oh, we have winter and Valentine's in here. I mean, I'm already thinking Valentine's. It will be here before we know it. And that's what these pinks sort of gave me. But this is supposed to be a wintry pastel palette, but you do have some deeper tones in here to deepen things up. And I believe we also have 3 duochromes, I think. The rest are regular shimmers. I'm gonna go ahead and scooch over here so I can pop in some swatches for you guys as I'm speaking. But when I swatched them out, they did look really pretty. I'm excited to get these on my eyes. As you guys can also see, it's sort of broken down into monochromatic 3 different palettes here, if you want to look at it that way. So we have some rosy pinks here, we have some greens, and then we have the blues. And my plan for you guys is to do a look with each sort of 6-pan. Obviously you can mix and match like you want to. You don't have to keep it monochromatic whatsoever, but because that's how it's laid out, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna try to sneak in a 4th look, mixing and matching all across the palette. But let's go ahead and get into our look number 1, which is going to be the pinks. All right, so first up, I'm gonna take this matte right here and pop this in the inner portion. So this is a nice, pretty, light pinky mauve. I really love these tones. These are some of my favorite pink sort of tones or mauve tones. So because I love a mauve lip, that I'm excited about these for the eyeshadow. That's nice and pretty light, but it does have some good pigment. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with this deeper mauve shade, and that is what I'm gonna put on the outer portion of the eye. I'm just gonna kind of stamp it in first to build up the pigment, and then I'll start to sort of blend that outward. Really pretty. Okay, next up I'm taking the very lightest matte, and I'm just gonna use that to kind of diffuse the edges over here to blend this out a little better so it's not so harsh. And honestly, that's what I really love a light matte in a palette for, is for correcting mistakes, is for creating a new shade, or diffusing edges. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back in with the deepest matte again to go on the lower lash line, and then I will go in with the next, like the mid-tone, just to reflect what's on the upper lid. And you guys, I'm making these a little bit quicker and just editing a little bit more, not showing as much on camera than I used to, because I think part of the problem why people didn't watch eyeshadow palette videos anymore is they just get too long when you show a lot of looks. And like I said, I want to try to fit 4 looks in for you guys. So I am going a little bit quicker, but you guys get the gist of what I'm doing. All right, next I'm going to go in with the deepest shimmer here, this metallic-y magenta looking shimmer. And I'm going to put that on the outer portion. That's really pretty. Ooh, I like that. All right, next I'm going to go with Last Run, the middle shimmer. I like how this is laid out. I think it's so easy. Just 3 shimmers, 3 shimmers, 3 shimmers, and then the mattes. I find that very, very helpful. And we're just tapping that right here. This is such a pretty, soft, sort of romantic pink look. But I really love how metallic-y the shimmers are. Okay, last we're gonna do the little pop. Ooh, and it looks like blue, like a blurple. It's so pretty. That's this corner one. That's really fun. It gives it that icy, like, really cool. If you were to use the one next to it, the shimmer next to it, it would have more of a green pop, but this has the blue. I think it's fun. All right, let me put on the lashes liner. I'll enhance my lips just a little bit and we'll be through with look number 1. All right, you guys, I am back. The lashes are on. Here is the final look. I think this is really, really pretty. It's very like wintry, romantic looking. I think the pinks are gorgeous. I love the inner corner. Had no issues, super pretty. Okay, this is look number 1. All right, you guys, so next day we are going in with the greens, and I'm gonna start with Fondue, the lightest green here. Very similar to the color that I'm wearing of my sweater. I just realized just now, I did not put my primer down on my eyes. So you know what, that's fine. Obviously it does help, but you know, I really ultimately think that a palette should work with or without. So it seems to be working about the same. All right, next I'm going in with the deepest green, Mont Blanc, which by the way, I think that the proceeds or the portion like Nomad always does goes to Mont Blanc. Something about preserving Mont Blanc. So love that they're always giving back. And by the way, if you guys hear the TV going or anything like that, my kids are still home from school. This is their last day before they go back after Christmas break. And Mama's still trying to get some work in. This is a really pretty color green. I really like these two juxtaposed next to each other are really pretty. The very, very light minty green with this deeper green is very pretty. Okay, next up I'm going with the middle shade, Ski. This one's really pretty too. And just kind of blend those two in together. These greens are yummy to me. I love a minty green. I love that they don't have like a turquoisey sort of tone to them. I love when greens stay green. So very pretty. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back in with Fondue, that lightest one again, to use that to do the diffusing of these edges. And then on the lower lash line, I'm just following basically the same thing that I did with the first look, taking the deepest shade, and then we'll go in, as we go in, we'll go to the lighter shades. All right, time for the shimmers. This green looks so pretty. I'm gonna put that on the outer portion again. Just like that first deep magenta shimmer that I used, it's just really shiny, reflective. Basic shimmer, but really pretty. Okay, next I'm going with Opera, This one's really soft because I accidentally nicked it yesterday and it just put a finger right in it, but oh, that's pretty. Ooh, these greens are gorgeous. I will tell you guys, right before I went in with this shimmer, I had to run into the bathroom to clean something up under my eyes that I had dropped down. And it looked a little bluer in that lighting. In this lighting, it looks green, not like a grassy green, but just a sort of minty green, sagey green. It did look a little bluer in the other light, so I think it just kind of depends. But regardless, it's very, very pretty. Okay, now it's time for the duochrome. I know this is gonna really pop that green. Oh yeah. That is a bright pop of green. Ooh, that is so pretty. It actually has a kind of pink green shift to it. Gorgeous. Eyes are like, boom. Okay, you know with the drill, lashes, liner, all the things. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so all done. This is so pretty. I just think the tone of this is just gorgeous. Really, really pretty. And I will let you guys know, I did the exact same base makeup as yesterday. The only thing different are the eyes. I think I'll do that for the next two looks too, just so we're really making it about the eyes and you won't be swayed by that you like something more because of the lipstick. So look number 2, stunning. All right, third day, I'm going in with this 6 pan here. And actually, I didn't really bring it up before, but I'm pretty sure this matte is going to be more of a purpley brown instead of a blue. This 6 pan side over here is a little bit different than the other. Yeah, it's kind of a purpley taupey brown. This side is different than the other 6 pans in that it kind of veers off into a different shade. Instead of this being all blue, we have this shade here. But I kind of like that there is this almost neutral deep shade in here. And I say almost neutral because it definitely has a purple lean to it. All right, next I'm going in with Last Call. I don't know why I started with the darker shade first. And this whole time I've been doing the lighter shade. It doesn't really matter. But because I'm gonna blend in and connect them with the mid-tone. So this is a light powdery blue, really pretty. Okay, and then the mid-tone one, this middle right here, this one almost looks kind of blurply too. It's like the deeper shade has a purple lean, and then you've got the light blue, and this mid-tone is kind of a mix of both. Like you took a lavender and a periwinkle and mixed the two. And I will point out something to note, it's not a bad thing. It's just something I just observed that for whatever reason, these 3 mattes are much, well, not necessarily the one I'm using right now, but the deeper shade and the lightest shade, they are more powdery than the other mattes have been. Lots of kick up in them, but sometimes I like that. I think it helps with blending. So maybe that's intentional. Maybe these were, I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but maybe these shades were a little bit harder to blend if they're not more powdery, possibly. I really like how these shades blend together. I think the tone of it is really pretty, kind of unique actually. Not the typical tones of purpley blue that you see. So I think that's really cool. And then again, I'm doing the same that we've been doing, mirroring the top on the bottom. Okay, shimmer time. Shotsky blue. Whoa, that one's more punchy. That is a little bit brighter. I think the brightest of the kind of jewel toned metallic-y shimmers. Okay, next Mountain Chalet is our next shimmer. That's pretty too. Just a little lighter and brighter. And then our trusty inner corner. I've been curious if this one shows up just silver or purple. I think it's kind of one of those that it depends on the lighting or what color's next to it. I think it could pick up some lavender sort of shade next to it, or it could look just kind of straight platinum. But it goes really well with this. All right, time for lashes. All right, here we are. I have to say, I think this is my favorite of the three so far. I really, really like these tones. They kind of surprised me. I feel like they're really unique. Love look number 3. All right, obviously I made it to a 4th look for you guys. So I am going to try to take a shade from each of the 6 little mini palettes that I used before. So I think I'm gonna go in with this mid-toned mauve shade here again and place that right here on the inner portion. And then I'll decide what we're gonna do next. Okay, I think I'm gonna go in with this shade next to it because I just wanna see, I kind of have a feeling, I had a feeling that if these are next to each other or blended together, it's gonna come across more purpley, more lavender. And so that's a cool experiment I wanted to test out, because I think when we look at this palette, we see the pinky tones, we see the greens, we see the blues, but if you're mixing those pinky tones in with the blue that already kind of has like a little purpling, then you're gonna get even more purple to it. So you can kind of create your own lavenders. Okay, next I'm going in with the deepest mauve shade. And I'm gonna see how that works in here. Yeah, that's cool. Definitely have this purpley vibe going. I like that. You know, I was thinking off camera, this palette I think would go really well with Nomad's New Zealand Stargazing. I just think that they would go really well together, especially the shades that I'm using right now. Okay, for the green, I think I'm gonna do the lower lash line. So I'm going in with the deepest one. And I'm gonna pop that right here on the outer portion. And then I'm gonna go in with the light blue, more so in the inner third, and just kind of blend that together. Okay, then for the lid, I want to go in with those more inner corner shades to put on the lid and see how they do. So the first one, Les Alpes. Let's do that right here. Ooh, that's fun. That really picks up a purple vibe that in the inner corner, it was more of a blue, but you can really see that there's a lot of purple there. It looks really good with these mattes blended together. And those that I put in the inner corner, the one that I just did, they're more of a crumbly kind of toppery formula, especially that one, more so than the second one I'm going in with. So it probably would benefit you to use a glitter glue. I did not, but that would probably work well. Okay, that's fun. This really is a pastel-y sort of, almost like pastel winter mermaid sort of a palette. I don't even know if that makes sense, but that's just what came to my mind. So pretty. Okay, for inner corner, I'm actually gonna use that lightest kind of bone pink matte shade. It's not gonna do much, but I just wanna try it out instead of putting a shimmer there. Really, it just kind of brightens that inner corner up. All right, I think that is it for this. So I'm gonna put on the liner lashes and we are gonna come back and wrap up all of our thoughts about this new palette. I don't know, you guys, look number 4 may be a contender for my favorite look. I really loved looks number 3 and 4, I think the most. Really pretty. I wasn't expecting such a kind of pastel-y fairy vibe, even though this really is like a pastel palette. I also think that Chamonix Après-Ski is very much a spring palette, even though I think it looks wintry and we're influenced by the packaging and the theming. I think this would be really pretty for spring as well. I kind of get spring fairy vibes from this. And then here is the New Zealand Stargazing palette. I just wanted to show them together. I just think it'd be a nice companion piece, like a little bit deeper, darker of a palette that you could mix and match. I think that this would go well because you still have some of those deeper mauves in here. You've got some blues. You do have a black matte if you want to smoke up a look. I just think that these would go really beautifully together. And I really enjoyed this palette. I think that they've been doing a really good job lately. The last couple of I didn't love the Polar Express palette, just color story wise for me, but the Chicago palette, this palette, Fuji 5 Lakes, I feel like I'm leaving out another one that I love. I just think that they're kind of really hitting the mark when it comes to color stories, maybe with the exception of the Polar Express for my personal taste, but I love this palette. I love all of my looks with it. I really had no issues formula-wise. So yes, I do recommend it. And you guys can save that money with my code if you would like. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'm not gonna always do these videos on palettes anymore, but I was really happy to do this one for you guys. Well, let me know which one was your favorite look. Let me know if you're gonna pick up this palette. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.